In this program are not necessarily those of this station.
Discover solutions to issues that affect your family and professional life with practical information to help you get past life's adversities. Take a proactive approach to power up your life with Rosalie's expert resources.
If you're a parent looking for resources to navigate through school options, well, there's traditional public schools, charter schools, magnet schools, online schools, homeschooling, and there's never been so much growth in school options since National School Choice Week began in 2011. National School Choice Week is a nonpartisan, non-political public awareness effort that shines a positive spotlight on effective educational options for children. Joining us to discuss school options is Andrew Campanella, the president of the National School Choice Week. Good morning, Andrew.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Great to have you back with us again. Andrew, you know that I'm a mother, a broadcast journalist, a national disability advocate who has worked with many state agencies and the federal government to increase opportunities for people with developmental disabilities. You know, Andrew, I helped my autistic son find his educational options through many agencies. Decades later, he became a student that's prepared for higher education and now attends Florida Atlantic University, a real dream come true for us. That was my driving force in education. What is your driving force behind your passion as an advocate for National School Choice Week?
Well, first, congratulations, because you stood with and helped your child get into an awesome school and really have set him up to pursue his dreams. And I think that's just incredible. In terms of me, to be honest, the driving force behind why I do this is my mother. My mother is a teacher. She's the best teacher in the world. And I watched her every single day go to school and teach kids and give it her all. And I think that we don't focus enough in this country on the good things that are going on in education. Great teachers like my mom and so many others who are so dedicated, so compassionate, who care so much about their kids. And the fact that there are so many great teachers working in all different education environments, caring about kids and wanting them to be prepared for success and prepared for real life.
Absolutely, and I'm with you. Andrew, tell us more about the goal of National School Choice Week. I know you have many events around the country, but how does the awareness continue throughout the entire school year?
Sure. The goal of School Choice Week is to let parents know that when it comes to their children's education, they do have choices. And you mentioned many of them: traditional public schools, public charter schools, magnet schools, private schools, online academies, and homeschooling. We want parents to use School Choice Week as an opportunity to evaluate the education settings their kids are in, and if they want to make a change, start doing their research now. Don't wait until summer break, because if you wait that long, you'll find that you may have run out of time.
I'm in agreement with you. There are many great teachers, and you know, Andrew, they can make or break a student. But how does Florida stack up when it comes to educational opportunities?
Well, I may be in California today, but I am a Floridian, and I am proud to say that Florida parents have more choices for their kids' education than families in most other states. Florida has a broad and diverse open enrollment program for traditional public schools, which means that parents can choose public schools in almost any district regardless of where the family lives, a diverse private school choice program, public charter school sector, theme-based magnet schools, statewide full-time online schools, and of course the freedom to homeschool. So there have been so many different advancements in school choice in Florida, and there are options to look at during this School Choice Week.
All right, so how can parents find out what their educational options are?
Sure. We have a school choice guide on our website, schoolchoiceweek.com, and it's specific to Florida. So if you go to schoolchoiceweek.com/mystate and choose Florida, you can download a one-page PDF that has a lot of links to state resources if you want to get this school search process started for your own family.
All right, so tell us, what events are you planning during National School Choice Week?
It is all during School Choice Week. 32,240 events across the country. Open houses, information sessions, school fairs, school tours, rallies, you name it. It's being planned locally by schools and organizations across the country. Florida has the second highest number of School Choice Week events this year.
One last question. Many opponents say that school choice takes away from traditional public school funds. How do you address this issue?
The way I would address it is by saying that of the options that parents have, traditional public schools, charter schools, magnet schools, and online schools are all in the public sector. So when we're talking about school choice, we're not talking about an ideology, we're talking about a reality, and that reality is helping children learn.
Thank you, Andrew, for joining us and sharing the educational options created through National School Choice Week. Did you know the historical Black colleges and universities are institutions of higher education in the U.S. that were established before the Civil Rights Act in 1964? Its intention was to primarily serve the African American community due to the majority of predominantly white institutions of higher learning that disqualified African Americans from enrollment during segregation. A recent study by the Education Trust, a Washington, D.C. based nonprofit, revealed that the nation's historical Black college universities are doing a much better job than predominantly white schools in graduating low-income Black students. College campuses have become ground zero for the national debate on free speech. A record number of students from historical Black colleges and universities recently joined for the first ever Historical Black College University Debate League National Championship.
Critical thinking skills are something that is fundamental. It's something that's necessary in every facet of life. And so building an organization like this to foster that within these students with the generous help of partners like the Charles Koch Foundation, I think is important to be able to provide students with those types of opportunities.
The Great Debater is a 2007 American biographical drama film directed by and starring Denzel Washington about the Wiley College debate team. The Great Debater became famous from the Hollywood movie when they defeated, on camera, the reigning national debate champions. To be an effective debater, you must be factually accurate and present with some degree of emotional appeal to your audience to win over the other party who is presenting their side of the argument. The purpose of the Wiley College debate team is to compete at a national and regional level, and more importantly, to instill a strong work ethic, a drive for academic excellence, and a spirit of ethical competition in its students' leaders. Last month, the campus introduced the first ever Historical Black College University Debate League National Championship Tournament.
It's really insightful to join a team, a historical Black team that has been through so much, but now you come out on the other end learning more about yourself.
For any parent or educator working to encourage students to get plugged into current events, here's a bit of advice.
Adversity happens to everyone, but the key thing is to always move forward and to be open to new experiences.
Learn more about the Speech and Debate League at wileyc.edu. Every child needs parents who make good decisions and practice sound financial choices for themselves and their family. If you feel your relationship is on the rocks due to poor money management, remember, money and relationships often mix like the use of oil and water, or sometimes gasoline and a match. A new SunTrust survey revealed finances and annoying habits tied as top sources of relationship stress. Finances, in addition to annoying habits, are major contributors of stress in relationships, resulting in 1 in 7 people ending a relationship over money. Brian Nelson Ford is a financial well-being executive for SunTrust Banks. He's here with survey results and resources available at SunTrust that's dedicated to lighting the way to financial well-being and to inspire Americans to gain financial confidence, offering tools and resources.
I found it fascinating that people are twice as likely to say they are the saver in the relationship as opposed to the spender. And so what we found is 28% of people say, yep, I save pretty good, and my partner not so much. Now, if that were true, you should see that same percentage on the other side, but we don't. Only 13% of people admit that they are the spender and that their partner is good at saving. So we found that very interesting.
Okay, is it a good idea for couples to keep some or all of their accounts separate?
The research shows that about 57% of couples, they have at least one separate account, and 27% say the reason they do that is to avoid fights over money. And so not only does the research substantiate it, but our experience says, sure, it's just fine to have separate accounts. Now, every relationship is different. Do what's best for you. But in most relationships, the couples say, you know what? I don't really want them looking over my shoulder on every single expenditure. It's normal to have a little bit of financial autonomy, and having separate accounts allows for that.
If you're a couple, should you tell your other partner if you have a separate account? Because it's not so good to keep financial secrets.
Absolutely, yeah, there's no doubt. The separateness of accounts is a joint decision. So it's not a secret account, it's a separate account. Well said.
So Brian, what financial missteps are most common causes of relationship stress?
We find that when you're arguing over money, it's really a disagreement over what you value. We're not arguing over these green pieces of paper in our pockets and in our purses. We're arguing about what it represents, and that's a conversation around value. So I think a common misstep is thinking that it's all about the numbers, it's about budgeting. No, it's really about what you value, what you care most about in life. So take the time to learn that about your spouse or your partner. And what you'll find is that you have some things in common. That's fantastic. We want the majority of our hard-earned money to be going towards the things we have in common. But you know what else you'll find? Like my wife and I, she looked at my list of things that I value and said, seriously? And I looked at hers and did the same thing. That's okay. That's just the beginning of a conversation about these things and maybe allowing a little bit of money for these things as opposed to an argument over these things.
So what key questions should couples be asking each other so that they can have a productive conversation to calm their financial fears?
I think after you establish what both of you value or what you care most about in life, let that be a springboard towards what's one of your financial goals. Find a common financial goal. Find something that you both want to work towards. Once you get on the same page with that goal, then really these little spending things go away and you're on the same page working towards that same future, and it can go a long way to strengthen a relationship. So I think that's a good thing to do.
All right, so where can we go to get some information to help practice good money habits?
Well, at SunTrust, we've sparked a movement. It's called On Up. And we've got a corresponding website. It's just onup.com. If you are a couple, it's a great place to go together. You've got inspiring stories, you've got videos, but starting to speak the same financial language is really nice, I think, as a couple. But if you're not in a relationship, that's okay too. Onup.com is for everybody.
Thank you, Brian, for your tips on money management and helping out many couples de-stress. The 4-H Club is the nation's largest youth development organization that began over 100 years ago to help young people and their families gain skills needed to be proactive forces in their community and develop ideas for a more innovative economy. Well, there is a new initiative launched to connect and inspire kids to learn creative and imaginative thinking. The National 4-H Council teamed up with Joanne Craft Stores to give kids the benefits of hands-on learning to improve their confidence and leadership skills. Here to explain how it works are 4-H members Sophie Hutchinson and 4-H alumni Lauren Ryder. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Hi,
Good.
Doing well.
So Lauren, why is it so important for students to work with their hands and tap into their creativity?
Studies show kids often lose their natural love of learning between kindergarten and their senior year of high school. 4-H programming allows students to learn by doing. These hands-on experiences help to rekindle that love of learning and spark creativity and imaginative thinking. In my experience, 4-H taught me how to sew and got me interested in fashion and creation. I studied fashion merchandising in college, and now I get to work at Joann with creative people every single day. I also learned leadership skills by serving as an officer in my 4-H club and serving on my county and state fashion boards.
All right, Sophie, so why are you involved in 4-H and how has it benefited you?
Well, I got involved in 4-H quite a few years ago because I wanted to learn about sewing and fashion skills. It was always an interest of mine, and what I didn't realize is that it would turn into so much more. I got involved in a bunch of different projects: sewing, crocheting, quilting, sketching, really anything 4-H and fashion related. I was involved, as well as leadership opportunities because of the confidence I gained through my projects. And that really helped me to pursue a career in fashion, and I'm currently living in New York City and working in the fashion industry because of what I learned through the 4-H program.
So Lauren, tell us about the partnership opportunities that create hope and success that others can achieve like Sophie did.
We're so excited to launch this program so we can help people like Sophie get their stories out there and get inspiration and be encouraged to continue down that path.
When members like Sophie share their story in the community, does that help increase youth membership so that more youth come and join the 4-H club?
I mean, through word of mouth, I was a big part in my local community with, speaking to the younger children and getting them involved and showing them what they were capable of, what they could do. And I like to think that I really inspired people, and I'm sure that Sophie has done that as well.
So Sophie, how are you and other 4-H members participating in this initiative? After all, you're living in New York City now, so how do you get that message out to others in smaller communities?
Well, I like to use my story to inspire other 4-H members who are pursuing their passions through 4-H, as Lauren said. And 4-Hers can get that hands-on experience to really develop those skills by going to their local Joann's, participating in the projects. There was a project that happened where 4-Hers could go and create Valentine's cards, and it was donated to people in need, and there are going to be other activities like that where 4-Hers can really get involved.
All right, Lauren, so tell us, how can our viewers get involved now?
To learn more about the Joann and 4-H initiative, you can go to joann.com/4H, where you can get inspiration, you can learn more about the program, sign up, and you can learn more about this awesome partnership.
Thanks, Lauren and Sophie, for sharing the exciting new 4-H Club and Joann Stores initiative. Much success to both of you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Learning skills and developing talent can start at an early age, like our next guests, who are excited about this summer when families with kids will get ready for Kidz Bop Live 2018 tour, stopping in more than 50 cities with all new live show pop concert, sung by kids for kids. Joining us this morning to share the excitement of this #1 music brand for kids is Isaiah and Indigo. Good morning.
Good morning.
You guys are so adorable. Okay, how exciting for both of you. You're young and you're a part of being Kidz Bop. Now, how excited are you?
Yes, definitely.
All right, well, tell us about your new LP coming out this month.
So basically, our album, Kidz Bop 37, is coming out this Friday, which is awesome. So basically, we sing some of today's biggest hits like How Long, Feel It Still, and Havana. Which we sing all those songs, and we sing them kid-friendly so that kids can enjoy them and their families. They can sing along and have a great time.
All clean, fun songs, right?
Yes. Yes.
So tell me, what is the key to the continuous success as the #1 kids band in America?
kids enjoy our songs because they don't have to listen to the bad songs on the radio, so that they get to listen to some catchy songs without all the bad lyrics, the explicit lyrics and all that.
And parents also enjoy it.
So Indigo, you're new to the band. How did you get picked for Kidz Bop?
Well, basically, Kidz Bop had a nationwide audition casting call, and 1,000 people auditioned for it, and they sent the finalists to Hollywood to meet the Kidz Bop team, and they picked 8 new people.
Your summer will be filled with going on tour and performing. So tell us about it, and how many cities will you visit?
We'll be visiting 50 cities.
We will actually be visiting more than 50 cities.
Oh, yeah.
More than 50 cities, which is a lot because we get to go all the way all around the U.S. and make a bunch of kids happy. I'm so excited.
Is there any specific city that you're looking forward to?
I have to love my hometown, Los Angeles.
I love Boston.
After a long day and you get home, what do you think about this incredible life experience you're living as a part of Kidz Bop?
When I go home at night and I just think that I'm making a bunch of kids happy. I'm happy in this world. I'm doing this, getting to perform for them, making them have a great time, getting to go to like their first concerts and all that, which is amazing to think.
And how about you, Indigo? How do you feel about this life experience?
I'm super happy to be here, and I'm just super lucky.
It's great to hear you're both grateful for such a blessing early in life.
Thank you.
Wishing you all in Kidz Bop success on your upcoming summer tour.
Bye.
Bye.
If you're one of the millions of moms suffering from fever phobia and being terribly worried about your child having a fever, you're not alone. According to a recent survey conducted by Braun Thermometers, 82% of moms surveyed believe fevers can cause brain damage. Joining us this morning to calm parents' fears is Dr. Deborah Gilboa, an internationally respected family physician, parenting expert, and founder of AskDrG.com. Good morning, Dr. G.
Good morning, Rosalie.
Every parent fears their child could have brain damage, mostly if it was caused by a fever. Tell us, if you were to counsel parents to calm their fears of the fever, how would you explain the most accurate process of taking your child's temperature?
Rosalie, you're so right. It's easy to feel afraid of a high temperature, but almost always that's a safe, good thing that your child's body is doing to fight off the infection that it's faced with. The most accurate way for parents to know exactly how high is this fever is to check in the ear canal at home. That's because the tympanic membrane, the eardrum, shares the same blood supply as the temperature control center in the brain. So you know if you use Braun's ear thermometer that you're getting a really professionally accurate reading in a way that's comfortable for your child.
The survey also found 4 out of 10 moms believe that using the back of their hands on their child's forehead is a good way to determine if they have a fever. I must admit, I still do that today to my son and even to my husband.
And you know what? It's a really good way to make our kids feel like we care about them and we're connected to them, but it's a terribly unreliable way to check a temperature.
How about a child or adult that says they feel so hot? How accurate is that?
It's incredibly important for our kids to know how to advocate for themselves and describe what they're feeling in their body, especially if they don't feel well. But feeling hot on the inside isn't a good indicator from a child or an adult to know if they have a clinical fever. So go ahead and listen to them and respect that, but also check.
Tell us more about the survey results. Found like 82% of moms that believe a fever can cause brain damage in the child. Can fevers cause brain damage?
Almost never. So what's really important is to look at the whole child. So you've tested their temperature in their ear and you know exactly what that number is, but also, are they drinking? Are they playful? Are they sluggish laying on the couch, don't want to move? Do they also complain of pain anywhere? How has their eating been in the last day or so? When you look at your whole child and you feel worried, that's the time to reach out to their caregiver. Never worry that you're going to call your child's doctor's office and they're going to say, you shouldn't have called us. We never say that. What we want to know is if you're worried, you know you can reach out and ask the questions you need to ask.
The survey also reported that half of moms wake their child in the middle of the night to give them fever-reducing medication. Is that needed, or is sleep a better alternative for the child to heal?
Sleep is really good for healing. I understand the need to be able to monitor their fever, and that's important. Go ahead and use something like Braun's no-touch forehead thermometer so that you can know what their temperature is without waking them. It's almost never necessary to wake them up.
All right, Dr. G, so what other tips can you offer parents when they're so worried about their child that has a fever?
I actually really want parents to recognize that although it can be frustrating or scary when our kids get sick, and I have 4 kids and I sometimes feel like, oh my gosh, one of them is always sick, it's also a great opportunity to not only show them how much we love them and care about them and form that connection when they're not feeling well, it's also a great time to teach them how to start taking care of themselves, how to speak up when they don't feel well, describe what's going on in their body, communicate what they need, and this is just a tip for moms, don't let them get away with really bad behavior because they're not feeling well. It's okay to say to your child, I know you feel sick, but you still can't speak disrespectfully to me or be mean to your brother. You still have to be a good kid.
All right, so how can a parent help their child eat when they have a fever and don't feel good?
So eating is useful all the time, but if you're not feeling well, I mean, Rosalie, when you're sick, you often probably don't feel hungry either. Kids don't always have to eat, but they always have to drink. So it is important with a child to keep track to make sure they're drinking enough. And by enough, I mean, are they urinating regularly? And if they're not, if they haven't had wet diapers or you haven't noticed them going in to pee, with older kids, you can say, hey, because you're sick, I need you to let me know when you're using the bathroom so that I know you're staying hydrated.
Thank you, Dr. G, for joining us and educating our viewers to the most accurate way to check your child's temperature and calm the fears of worrying parents.
Thank you.
Life is full of opportunities, from academic growth to skill and talent development. As parents, we have many responsibilities. One of the most important ones is to help guide our child's future development so that they can one day share their skills and talents to enhance our community development and innovation. Share with us how you successfully inspired your child's development at facebook.com/Rose Lee Show. And follow us on Instagram at The Rose Lee Show. And watch this episode right here and many others 24/7 at RoseleeArcherShow.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you soon. The preceding was a presentation for The Rose Lee Show. The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of this station.